Good morning, all. This is the first chapter in biology, chapter 8 Cell Structure and Functions. Okay, the structure of cells and the functions performed by them. This is the branch of biology that deals with the study of cell. Okay, so a part of biology, that is cell biology. And what are cells? Cells are the basic structural and functional units of organisms. Okay, so it means they are the building blocks of our body. The body of whole organisms are made of these cells. Then, who discovered cell? Discovered by Robert Hooke. Who is it? Robert Hooke. Then, Robert Hooke discovered the cell first time, and he was the first person to observe these cells. And he described these cells as thin boxes or honeycomb. It means he observed a thin slice of a bark of a tree. Tree bark, na? Tree bark means rough skin of a tree. So he took a thin slice from it and he called it as cork. When he observed the cork under microscope, he saw a honeycomb. Do you know what is honeycomb? Beehive with full of honey. That is honeycomb. So he saw what? Little chambers inside that. And he thought that cells are only exist in plants and fungi. As he observed a plant cell, he thought so. Okay, he thought these cells are existing only in plants and fungi. Isn't it? And he observed dead cells, not the living one. Tree bark has dead cells. It is a dead part. So that's all about what? Discovery of Robert Hooke. Okay, honeycomb-like structure, he saw that. In that honeycomb-like structure, different boxes are there. Boxes. Like this. Can you see that? It is just like what? A honeycomb. And when you zoom it, you can see small boxes there. Small chambers. Each chamber was so called cell. Okay, so Robert Hooke was the first one to observe the cell and he coined the term cell. The word cell was first spelled by Robert Hooke. Okay, so that's all about what? The cell and its discovery by Robert Hooke. You can see a brick wall and onion peel here. So, can you make a comparison between these two? Okay, what's a common thing in both? What can you see in common? You can see that both have what? Walls. Just look at a brick. It has what? Four-sided wall. Isn't it? Then, what about the onion peel? Onion peel also having four-sided wall. So, both are walled. Okay, both have what? Wall. That's a similarity. Then, look at the middle of a onion peel. Okay, look at this middle of this. Can you see anything darker? Yes, it is the nucleus. Okay, brick wall. What about the brick wall? it hasn't nucleus there. Okay, brick wall is not a cell. Cells are have what? Nucleus. Then one question here, Paheli asking something. A hen's egg can be seen easily. Is it a cell or a group of cells? So hen's egg. A hen's egg is a single cell itself, right? It is a single cell, but it is big enough to see. Actually, most of the cells cannot be seen with our naked eye, with our eye. Okay, we have to use microscope, lenses and other devices to view cells. But the bird eggs, okay, eggs of the birds, they are visible, eggs of fishes are visible, eggs of frog are visible because they are big enough to see with our naked eye. We don't need any other aids or devices to view them. And which is the largest cell in the world? That is ostrich egg. Okay, this is the biggest cell. Ostrich egg is the biggest cell ever. Is it clear? So what about the hen's egg? It is a single celled. Okay, it is single celled. Is it clear? So now we are going through. In the first figure, you can see an amoeba. And in the second one, paramecium. Do they have a single cell or more than one cell? How many cells are there in amoeba and paramecium? Only a single cell. Look at their body. The body that is made of a single cell, isn't it? So the single cell is performing the whole functions: breathing, respiration, digestion, transportation, everything. So the whole functions are performed by a single cell here. Okay, so that's all about what? Amoeba and paramecium. Both have a single cell to perform whole activities, and this kind of organisms having a single cell can be called as unicellular organisms. Which kind of organisms are they? They are unicellular organisms. Okay, can you view them? Can you see them with your naked eye? No chance. They are very small. Okay, just compare hen's egg and these two organisms. These three are single celled, unicellular. But we know that hen's egg is big enough to see, but these two are microscopic. We need a microscope to observe amoeba and paramecium. You can see them in pond water. It is a freshwater, both are freshwater organisms. It will be in our pond water, stagnant water, you can see them. Okay, so what are unicellular organisms? Organisms having a single cell to perform the whole activities. These are unicellular organisms like amoeba, then paramecium, and one more example is there, bacteria. And yeast also. Yeast, it is a fungus, yeast, and it is also what? A unicellular organism. Clear? Is it clear? And do you know what's the structure, what's the shape of an amoeba? Irregular, isn't it? They don't have a particular shape. Here you can see something. That is, this is an amoeba. It is capturing a paramecium as its food. Can you see the paramecium here? Yes, amoeba. It shows some finger-like projections, right? 1, 2, 3. So 3 finger-like projections are there. And you can see the nearby finger-like projections. around the paramecium is trapping it, isn't it? So these two finger-like projections they are coming near to each other. Okay, they are approaching towards each other, and this is to enclose what? This is to enclose the paramecium, to trap paramecium. Actually, what is this finger-like projections? Actually, what is it? It is the cytoplasm. Okay, cytoplasm. Here, paramecium that is trapped, isn't it? Can you see that? So, these finger-like projections are pseudopodia. Pseudopodia. In another word, you can say false feet. They don't have feet like us, but it is a false feet. They move and captures food by means of this. Then, that's all about what? Unicellular organisms. Then let you know how many cells that we have. Can you count? No. We have trillions of cells. Okay, so just about trillions of cells in our body. Okay, so a trillion is equal to 1,000 billions. Then what about a billion? Is equal to 1,000 millions. Then a million is equal to 10 lakhs. So we have trillions of cells. Okay, crores of cells are there in our body, not a single cell. We are not a unicellular organism. Then what are the term used to denote us? Okay, the term is multicellular organisms. Okay, we are multicellular organisms. It means we have more than one cells to perform body functions. Okay, more than one cells, and these cells are grouped. Okay, they are grouped into different categories to perform different functions. Listen. So on the basis of the number of cells, organisms can be classified into two: unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. So first about unicellular organisms. Organisms which have a single cell, okay, to perform the whole activities are called unicellular organisms. What are the examples? Examples are amoeba, paramecium and bacteria. These three organisms have a single cell as their body, isn't it? Then the second one, multicellular organisms. These are the organisms which have more than one cells. Okay, and there will be a grouping of cells. Each group of cells perform each function. Like for transportation, some cells will be there. Okay, like then most animals and plants are the examples for this. Are all cells similar in us? I said there are groups of cells. So based on the function, cell shape is also different. Look at the first one, RBC. RBC means red blood cell. So it is a blood cell. And what's the shape of an RBC here? What's the shape of an RBC? You can see it is round shape, or you can call it as a sphere, spherical shape. What's the shape of an RBC? Spherical shape or round shape. And what's the function of RBC here? It is in the blood and it helps to exchange oxygen and carbon dioxide. They exchange respiratory gases. So they help for what? respiration. That's a function of RBC. Then the second one, muscle cell. Muscles. Okay, so each cell you can see with a single eye. A structure with a single eye. So here 3 muscle cells are shown. This is the single muscle cell. What's the shape of this muscle cell? What's the shape? We will call it as a spindle shape. What is it? It is spindle shaped. Spindle means both ends are tapering. Both ends are pointed. That is spindle shape. Can you see it? Here both ends are pointed. This is just look like a coconut fiber. Okay, so just look like what? A coconut fiber which having a spindle shape. Isn't it? Then what about the nerve cell? It is long and you can see branches here, right? Nerve cell, yellow colored nucleus is shown in the nerve cell, and thin branches are coming from this nuclear body. So you can see like this. This is the longest cell in our body, and it has greatest lifespan also. Okay, so longest cell in our body. This is a messenger. This cell, that is a messenger. Brain makes some commands to a particular body part. So it is acting as a messenger to receive messages and to send and to transfer it to the that particular target or particular body part. Then after it receives messages back to the brain. That's a function of nerve cell. Means it is controlling and coordinating. Coordinating means connecting all body parts together. Okay, our body, that is just like a machine. The whole body parts are working together. They are performing different functions, but altogether they have a connection, isn't it? So that connection, that is maintained by nerve cell. What is the function of a nerve cell? It receives and transfers messages and thereby controls and coordinates the body activities. So that is the function of nerve cell. So that's all about what? That's all about our first part. We talk more about what unicellular and multicellular organisms, isn't it? Unicellular organisms like amoeba and paramecium. Then multicellular organisms like humans having trillions of cells. Then different types of cells in human body. Thank you all.